one of the things that interests me is why now? Why in 2019 is the food delivery business taking off as it is? I think I would say personally, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, you thought about food delivery and you had your traditional pizza delivery. You had a few restaurants that delivered, but now it seems like you have this great market and industry where you have your Uber Eats and your DoorDash. Why now is the market taking off? That's what interests me the most.
I mean, I think that's a good point. And when I think about, like I said, the old school way where it used to just be pizza delivery, and occasionally you could find a Chinese restaurant that would deliver. Other than that, you really didn't find delivery. But I think that, you know, there's so many elements within the industry now that makes it, I guess you would say, more profitable or a better business case to do it now versus before.
Well, I think it may even be the way it proves how market changing Uber was. It not only impacted the taxi industry and the ride sharing industry, but it opened up this whole market for restaurants to be able to connect directly with their consumer by utilizing the Uber Eats and the Grubhub. So in the past, you didn't have a lot of businesses. Well, businesses did not want to invest in delivery because the temperature and all the concerns of the food and the freshness, and it's better if I serve it here, the health things that they were aware of and cautious of. But now, because of Uber and these other businesses, Uber Eats and these other businesses, they're able to prepare it, and they're assuming now that the consumer has ignored or accepted all of the things that comes with those food delivery things. So it's amazing to me. I can't say that I still use it a lot, but I know that it is used a lot. Even Taco Bell partnered up with Grubhub to get Taco Bell to your front door. A fast food restaurant is doing delivery to your front door.
I mean, and I think part of it is when I think about the impact that Amazon has had on people's habits of how they shop now, to where I think people have become so accustomed to being able to order something, not have to put in much effort, and it shows up to them. To where I think the mix of Amazon's been doing that for a while, kind of getting people used to buying and having things come to them. And then when you have things like Uber and Lyft, to where it's like now you have the mode of transportation, to where you had the habit of order and it comes to me. Now you have the mode of transportation to actually deliver it. And I think it becomes, I guess you'd say, a cycle of very similar to any industry change. Like when Walmart started doing what it was doing, where it had the demand for superstores were there. It's just Walmart was the first to actually put in the infrastructure to get the transportation to match with it. And I think when you have the demand and the transportation, is you have the opportunity for a new industry to be created.
And going back to your point about the transportation, now you're making the everyday average citizen an entrepreneur, because now they can choose how much work they want to put in. They can choose how long they want to work, and they can work for multiple different companies. I've been in some cars and they have the Uber app, they have the Grubhub app, and in restaurants they have the Uber tablet and the Grubhub tablet, or the Uber Eats tablet and the Grubhub tablet. They're able to connect with all of these different things. So I wonder, where is it going? Like, what's the impact? Because now restaurants that don't deliver, will they be negatively impacted for those that do not engage, or is it a specific type of restaurant or fast food place that it works for, but maybe some of your high class or expensive or steak restaurants, they will never engage because that's just not their brand, or that's not their market that they're in?
I mean, I think it really comes down to the brand. Like, one franchise business that I really like, that to my knowledge is not in the the delivery business, is Sonic. To where I feel like Sonic has done a really good job on their marketing of more so advertising the experience than the food. Because even when people think about, like, when you go to Sonic, you'll realize there are a ton of stuff on the menu, but when you look at like their commercials, they may advertise the coney, they may advertise the ice cream sundaes or the slushy, to where they advertise specific things, and they're advertising the experience, like the two guys that they have in the commercial. Like, they're always doing something crazy or something super, and they're always at a Sonic, to where they're just advertising the experience. business, where I feel like there are other businesses that, depending on how they market it, to where they're more ripe for a home delivery versus someone who's like, hey, part of getting our food is the experience you have when you come here.
Yes, to sit there at the bay and have the the attendant skate out to the car, bring your food. You're sitting there enjoying the hot sun, and just like the guys in the commercial, having a typical conversation about random things.
Yeah.
And that's the experience that Sonic is mentioning, compared to, I would say, a TGF Fridays, where it's not necessarily the experience, but more getting the food to you, and what our food, our steaks, our ribs, and those things. That's an interesting concept. I think some restaurants will be impacted though.
Yeah,
some will fall because of the ability to deliver, and those that won't.
Yeah.
And I'm curious as to where that's going to take us in the market. And what I see long term is that in order to really connect with the consumer, you have to be forward thinking. You can no longer rely on the traditional ways of business and people coming to your door and sitting at your restaurant. You have to have a product that people want, and they want it now, whether that's while they're out stopping in or while they're at home, and you can partner up with one of these apps.